Hello, viewers, and all the viewers joining me today. I would like to welcome you for another session on the learning of grammar. And today we're going to talk about the topic of narration. When I say narration, it mostly has to do with two types of narration called the direct and indirect speech. So let's move forward and know into detail and learn what is direct and indirect speech. How do we change this type of sentences? That is, when we have a direct speech, how do we change to indirect speech? And when we have an indirect speech, how do we change that into direct speech as well? So this is important in case you're appearing for a competitive exams. This type of questions do come in exams that is directly proportionate to our preparation. So if you're prepared very well, if you're preparing very well this topic, then it will be very easy for you again to appear those exams and answer those questions accurately. So let's move forward. Let's look at the definition first. What is a direct speech? A direct speech is mainly the exact quote of the speech. Now, when I say this, what am I saying? Whenever somebody says something, for example, I am going for a walk, I'm going to sit here, she went there. Whenever I say this, what am I doing? I am reporting something to you. But when I'm reporting this to you, I am keeping the exact speech of what I'm saying or what he or she said exactly the same. That is known as direct speech. A direct speech will have the speech under quotation to show us that the speaker's dialogue has been kept exactly the same. So if you take a look at this, direct speech is the exact quote of the speech. They are completely identical transcripts of the speech between two people. So if I say, he said, I want to go there. When I am talking about this, I'm the speaker reporting to you about what he said. However, I have kept the words that he spoke exactly the same. So in that case, that becomes the direct speech. Reported speech is a way a listener would narrate the incident in front of another person. So whenever I use a direct speech, it is when I want to narrate something to another person. So there's always a third person listening, and the second person who we're talking about, and the first person who is speaking. Now, narration, when I say narration, it mostly has to do with speech. So therefore the words direct speech and indirect speech, right? So therefore we will look on into the details as well as how we speak direct and indirect speech. Let's again go to this one. When we say direct and indirect speech, first, like I said, it is to do with the direct quote of what somebody has said, the direct speech of what somebody has said, exactly kept the same. Indirect speech is when I change that very speech into my own words and then report it to somebody else. For example, if I said, he said, I will go there, I'm going to change this into indirect and say, he said that he would go there. Now, in that case, what have I done? I have changed his speech that was exactly the same into my own words and reported it to another person. That is called indirect speech. So what are the changes that we can make in direct speech to indirect speech to make a complete sensible sentence? The verbs in the present tense will change into their corresponding past tenses in the following manner. What am I saying through this one? Whenever we change a sentence that is in direct speech into indirect speech, we also have to focus on one thing, and that is the tense of the sentence. If the direct speech is in the present tense, simple present tense, right? If the direct speech is written as I walk home every day, that is a present tense, which is in the simple form. So if that sentence is changed to indirect speech, how will I change it to? It will change to simple past tense. It will change to simple past tense. So for example, like I said, he said, I walk to school every day will change to, he said that he walked to school every day. So the verb walk has changed from simple present to simple past. Same thing. Similarly, when we go to present progressive, also known as present continuous, how do you change it? We will change it into past continuous. Same thing, present perfect will change to past perfect, and present perfect continuous will change to past perfect continuous. So these are the changes that you make when you have a present tense sentence. Now, when we move forward again, we can look at these words. Auxiliary verbs such as will, shall, will be replaced by the word would or should as well. So we can use the word will in the indirect speech will be changed to would. The word shall will be changed to should in the indirect speech. And can will be replaced by the word could. The important thing that we have to understand is the only action words that will not change its tense are actions that are universal truths. So this means all the action words that is present tense will change to past tense, will that is future tense will change to would, can will change to could. However, there's one single exception, and that is when you have universal truths or facts even, then you cannot change that tense in the indirect speech. For example, if I say the sun rises in the east, so you will say she said the sun rises in the east. What has happened? There's no change in the verbs nor change in any other parts of the sentence. Why? Because it's a universal truth. No matter what you say, when you say it, that fact will not change. So that's the reason why we don't change universal facts and universal truths when we change from direct to indirect. Let's take a look at this very example given to you here. In this first question, I'm saying this is a sentence where you find that the dialogue of the speaker is kept exactly the same. I am a bit busy today. Who said this? She says. So what have I done? She had said something to me and I'm reporting it to you. However, I have kept her dialogue exactly the same. So therefore, this is a direct speech. Now, if I ask you to change this into indirect speech, what do you have to do? Look at the verb. What is the tense? This is a present tense. Am is what? Am is a present tense that is in the simple form. So this is a simple present tense. Let's take a look at the options here. She said that she was a bit busy that day. She said she is busy today. She says that she is a bit busy today. She is a bit busy today was said by her. This is incorrect. As far as we know, as we've spoken the sentence, it seems incorrect, so it's out of the question. However, again, when we look at the other examples here, both of these examples are all in the present tense. Both of this. So therefore, what did I say earlier on? The present tense will change to past tense, the past form of that very tense. So simple present tense will change to past, simple past tense. So therefore, I am a bit busy will change to she said that she was a bit busy. Why did it change to was? Because since I am changing from direct to indirect, this verb will change from present to past. Here we also have to take into understanding and consideration that when we have direct speech, we are always going to keep that quote, right? The dialogue under the quotes. But when we change it in indirect, it will remain a statement. It will change into a statement based sentence. It cannot be a question, it cannot be a request, or it cannot be written in any exclamatory form other than a statement itself. Any kind of indirect speech will always be written in the statement form. If you remember that, it will become very easy for you to understand more of these examples. Let's take a look at this second question. They said that they took the bus every day. We don't see a quotation mark here. We don't see any type of dialogue that has been exactly quoted to us. So therefore, what is this sentence? It's an indirect speech. Now they're asking you to change that into direct speech. So we will have to look at the quotation. There is no quotation here in this first option, so it's out of the question. This is a wrong answer. Now we have three options here. Okay, so let's take a look at the verb. The word they took is here. So it's a past tense. That means I will have to write the direct speech in the present form only. Then only can it change to past tense, right? So therefore, I'll have to take a look at the sentences and see where the present tense is. We have two options. That means this one is out again. So two options have the present form. Here in the sentence, I'm saying, they said they take the bus every day, right? Here also, they said that they took the bus every day. Yes? So we does not make sense here in this sentence. So therefore, the right answer is D. D is the right answer because all the necessary changes that we require for a direct speech to be turned into indirect has been made here. They said that they took the bus every day will be changed to they said they take the bus every day. So this is the right answer. Next, he said she is taking medication weekly. He said she is taking medication weekly. Now, this sentence is a direct quote by this person, he, right? He said. So, therefore, the direct speech should be changed into indirect speech. And therefore, you also have to again look for the statement that directly matches this question. Now, he said is written here, so therefore he said that. So C and D are the options that you have to consider. Now, when you look at this one, she is taking. This is what tense? Present continuous. An action that is happening in the present time and is still continuing is known as present tense. But again, continuation is there, so present continuous tense. So if you have to change this to indirect speech, what do? You will have to add what? Past continuous tense. So both of these sentences have he said that, but only one contains what? Past continuous tense, which is option number C. So therefore, this becomes the wrong answer and option C is the right answer. How will you change this sentence here? He said that she is will change to was and taking remains the same since it's continuous and then medication weekly. So this is how we change from direct to indirect, and with this we are ending the topic of direct and indirect speech. In the coming class, please join me to learn more about grammar. Thank you for joining me.